final part of Mighty Number 9.
Hooray! We did it, everyone!
Yay!
Hooray!
Woohoo!
Oh shit, the game's still playing.
No.
We still haven't got to the worst part of the game. Look, it's not Dr. Wily.
That looks like a
Ew.
fucking angry me. Look at it.
Why does he have
You say not
marshmallows?
Dr. Wily, but it's like a dead ringer for Dr. Weil from the Zero series.
Oh yeah?
like one of those custom me's you can just take the template from online.
Yeah, put a giant nose on it. There you go.
I like his marshmallow hair.
Oh yeah, the game tries to have like an actual compelling story, and it's like I don't know if I want to like give it applause for trying or just pat it on the back for being like, aw, you think you're an actual story.
You think you're an actual game.
You think people care. That's sweet.
Well,
Trying
I
to
mean,
add a plot twist.
some people do though. Like a lot of the Mega Man X and Zero lore is surprisingly dark and involved. So I guess.
So's Kirby. That shit gets messed up, man.
Those pause screens.
I think the difference is like the lore itself, but like the individual games are like very like simple and not really that like.
Yeah.
Why is he
exaggerated.
wearing Beetlejuice's outfit for?
He's in prison. Obviously, you wear stripy clothes in prison, dude. What
For
else
a
would you
second
wear?
there, I thought that zoom in was Stefan doing an edit. that looked fucking horrible. That
So
fucking
this game is as bad as Stefan's edits.
Oh,
You're trying to say Gareth.
Jesus.
Wow, I mean, like I know it's true, but you don't have to say it.
I'm kidding. I love you, Stefan.
This guy, like, yeah, like you already mentioned his hair earlier. He looks like a rejected Phoenix Wright character.
You see, I don't know whether Stefan should be offended by being compared to Mighty Number 9, or if Mighty Number 9 should be offended by being compared to Stefan.
He even did the thing with his hand where he just like slaps it back. Trying to
Please,
talk
somebody
like an
cut
Ace
that
Attorney
fucking
character.
thing coming out of his forehead,
He's
please.
speaking for concept right now.
He blames his parents.
I blame the shareholder. I blame everyone who backed us on Kickstarter. It's your fault.
I need to steal that line for a React meme, though.
Look at the way he walks with his hand on his hip. He's so fucking sassy.
They don't
He's
want
like-
to. The characters don't walk in this game because they'd have to animate a walk
here-
cycle.
Here's the plot twist. William White is actually Bill Blackwell.
I knew it!
Wow.
Who's that?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. That's a name I have not heard in a long time. A long, long time.
Was that Breaking Bad who just edited it in?
Yeah, because Mr. White.
Mr. Pike.
Mr. White!
Of course.
Yo, Mr. White, we gotta cook.
Okay, aren't you supposed to be like at the prison, Mr. Dr. Fat guy?
Fat.
Mr. Doctor.
We got back.
That's Dr. Fat
got
PhD.
For the
I got back
record, his name
somehow.
is Dr. Sanda.
Dr. Santa.
Dr. Santa. What?
Dr.
The blue
Santa,
blazes?
I have a question. Why do you give poor kids substantially less presents than rich kids?
You can't ask those questions in this game, kid!
It'd be great if after all of these, like, what a great Caesar's ghost. What are the blue blazes? He just goes, what the fuck?
Let Sanda say fuck.
Let Mighty Number 9 say fuck. What are we gonna do, bro? What are we gonna do?
Applesauce, bitch.
Nice, Clement.
That's a deep cut reference.
I was kind of hoping you were going to insert that clip after he said that.
I forgot about that scene.
I don't get it.
That is the best scene. Oh, so there's a movie called Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where Jay and Silent Bob, they go to Hollywood to stop a movie based on themselves being made, and they end up scrambling onto the set of Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season, and they bring back Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and the guy who plays the dickhead in the bar, who will he basically shuts down. And there's this bit where it's just like, the guy's like, you know what, Will Hunting, I am now smarter than you. How do you like them apples? Like, I don't like the sound of them apples, Will. What are we going to do? when Matt Damon just pulls out a shotgun and goes, it's hunting season, and blows the guy away. I did that scene no fucking justice. Look it up online. It's one of the funniest things Kevin Smith has ever done.
My favorite part of that whole scene is Gus Van Sant is just in the corner counting his
Counting
money.
money. So, action, Will. Jesus, Ben, I'm busy.
I miss Clerks.
Oh, back when Kevin Smith knew how to make a movie.
When was the last movie he even made released anyway?
Yoga Hoses,
Hoses.
which I think had a very small. Clement, as a Canadian, and
Yeah.
Stefan, does that movie personally offend you?
It does.
I mean, Yoga Hoses just offends me as a human being, but I would imagine being a Canadian, that hate would be stronger.
I was gonna say, as a Canadian, no. As a movie watcher, yes.
I mean, Tusk has a lot of the same like Canadian jokes, but because it doesn't take over the movie, I'm fine with it. But Yoga Hosers like stops in it. Like there's a whole section where they just sing "Oh Canada," like a stupid rock version. And I'm like, are you serious? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
I never saw Tusk, but I've heard some people like it's better than you would think, and some people just like it's terrible. But Yoga Hoses, like I remember it was months ago. I watched it with TJ and Jonathan, and we all had to get drunk while watching it, and we saw it as a rite of passage. Like we have seen Yoga Hoses, we are now all prepared to die.
Okay, so I have a question for our Canadian friends here. In many American like TV shows and movies, just the fact that something is Canadian tends to be just a joke in and of itself. Like in How I Met Your Mother, Robin being Canadian is just like, oh, it's funny. She's Canadian and that's inherently funny. Or like even South Park, the fact that someone's Canadian, it's not even really they're making fun of anything about them being Canadians. Just, oh, it's funny because Canada is a place that exists. Do you guys do that to America? Are you guys like, it's funny because America is a country? Or is that not a thing?
I don't think I know. Not to speak for all Canadians, but I think this, the fact that Canada doesn't have to make a joke out of America because it already is.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say we don't really do that because America already does that themselves a lot.
Because
so-
Canada already has free healthcare and virtually no gun violence, so I don't think Canada needs to make jokes out of it.
Anytime I watch Canadian TV or Canadian movies, we never feel the need to reference America all that much, honestly.
But I don't understand. We're America, so that means we have to be in everything.
Of course.
We're the most important, right? I don't understand.
I mean,
say-
with
Okay, man.
with us, it's mostly like whenever there's like whenever there's an American production and we see like, oh, it was shot in Canada or whatever, we're always like, oh my god, we recognize that place. Like
Yeah.
all of Guillermo del Toro's recent films, I'm like, oh, I know where that place is. Oh, I know where that place is. Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like-
right there.
It's like Toronto doubles for New York so often. Like just set the fucking movie in Toronto, all right? Jesus Christ.
Like Suicide Squad was shot in Toronto. So like all those outside spots, I'm like, oh, I know where that place is.
I specifically know, like, there's a scene in Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second one, where Alice fights the Nemesis, and she runs down City Hall of Toronto.
Right.
Yeah, and the Incredible Hulk, the whole ending scene in Harlem was shot in downtown Hamilton, like very close to where I am.
Yeah.
So that's just always funny going back to watch that. 'Cause like,
You
I
see-
know where that is.
That's just kind of funny to me though, because New York is supposed to be like, oh, tough town where everybody's an asshole, and you're shooting it in Canada where everybody's nice to each other.
Yeah, because it's cheaper than New York.
Yeah.
And it's funny, anytime I watch American shows that just talk about Canada, it's almost always the same jokes, you know? It's always
Yeah,
the
it's
maple
like,
syrup, it's
whoa.
always a boot, it's always hockey.
Or sorority.
It's always the same stuff. And it's
That's
like,
the
all right.
worst part about like Yoga Hoses, those fucking those terrible Canadian accents they have.
Yeah.
I'm not even Canadian, even I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys, try harder than this accent.
Okay, so let me ask then, if we're gonna make fun of Canada in the future, what should we make fun of instead, just for variety's sake?
They're
Dude, you know-
linguistics.
Well, no, I would say,
How
you know
dare
what,
you.
one of my favorite Canadian jokes to bring it back to Kevin Smith in the Clerks cartoon. What they joked about Canada was it had nothing to do with their accent, just like they treated Canada like they were cave people. Like they were so technologically impaired. They were freaked out by a telephone. It's just like do something completely random and stupid like that. I think that's funny than just hello, we say a boot, we're polite, and we love hockey. That's like what every fucking 6-year-old does. Try harder, Kevin Smith.
And even then, like, of all those, only the hockey thing is true. Like, I never see anybody, like, obsessed with maple syrup. Nobody talks
No.
like that. but
hey,
not just
Stefan.
hockey, it's just sports in general. Just everybody, like football, soccer, hockey, they're just all
Wait, are we
obsessed
talking
with
about?
sports.
Oh, wait, you said soccer. Okay, so you were referencing real football.
Yes.
What?
But do you remember when your parents took me out for Mexican food?
Oh, God, yes. they're like, we picked Caro up, and they're like, oh, we want to take her out to eat somewhere. Where should we go? And they're like, oh, they knew she was Latina, so it's like, oh, let's take her to a Mexican place. And I'm like,
Jeez.
I don't know if this is like in good taste and bad taste. I don't know.
They're trying?
I don't care.
Question mark?
My favorite thing about my two favorite things about Canada is when you guys I went to Niagara Falls once. It was a lovely place. I really want to go again. But like when you enter Canada, the sign that says like "Welcome to Canada," kind of basic, very kind of respectable. When you go back out, big fucking sign, "Welcome to America." It's fucking like bald eagles and shit on the sign. Like you guys are trying too hard. But like I stayed in Niagara with the falls, and it is like one of the most touristy places that I've ever seen in my life. But I'll never forget the motel we stayed at was literally connected to a Hooters. And
Yes.
and
I know what you're talking about.
and Kerry and I went up there for Valentine's Day. And because we were driving up there, the weather was so bad. What should have taken us 5 hours took us 10 because the snow was terrible. So our Valentine's Day meal in, I want to say 2016 was spent in a Hooters. God bless you, Canada.
Like that whole area you were at is called Clifton Hill. Yeah, it's just all a bunch. Yeah, it's just the biggest tourist trap. In
It is
general,
like-
all the.
Yeah,
I
I've been to Niagara Falls. It's like full of touristy.
It's like
type.
I honestly don't know whether that place or Gatlinburg, Tennessee is more.
Gatlinburg, Tennessee is so
Gatlinburg
touristy.
is so much
Oh my
fun, but it's like
God.
you can't take a step without just a giant fucking "come here, spend your money here" type of sign. It's great.
What's there to see in Gatlinburg, Tennessee?
Dollywood.
Well, yeah, Dollywood is there.
Like
Oh,
Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Yeah, our middle school band trip was to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, to go to Dollywood and perform there.
It's the fucking
Wow.
time eater.
No, it's infinite.
Oh yeah, we're here at Trinity now. Okay.
It looks though that this looks like if the time eater merged with a Ghastly.
Okay, you see, here's the thing. It just straight up lied. It said its height was infinite, which is very much untrue.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice Infinite in the background.
I'm not.
Infinite's theme is so dumb. I love it. It's so bad.
So here's the thing
Wait,
about this boss.
why were those shots going straight through you?
Okay, here's the thing. So the boss is a yellow devil, but the thing is, for some reason, if you use the sword, you just phase through it.
Yeah.
And I don't think this was I don't think that was intentional.
I don't know if it was intentional, but that's how most people handle this boss. Is just like, you know what? Screw the patterns. Anytime he tries to shoot you with anything, just swing. Swing the sword as much as you can, and nothing will hurt you. For the most part. Something will get in eventually, but...
Yeah,
I
'cause
didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, because I'm terrible. I'm terrible at yellow devils in general. Like I have no idea how to do these patterns. So,
Yeah.
so like anytime I use a pause, so I use the pause trick anytime I can. But since there's no pause trick, I just do this. And I died like I think this boss the first phase and the second phase took me a combined total of over 3 hours.
Oh,
Do you
jeez.
get a
Jesus
checkpoint
Christ.
for the second phase?
Nope. You gotta do this whole thing again. You gotta do both fights in one go.
And keep in mind, if you haven't been dying all that much, you don't really get an XL tank refill.
Nope. I think I game overed in this, I game overed 3 times. It got so bad that my memory started to fill up, so I had to delete a bunch of the, failed tries. And it got so annoying because I died on the first. I died on this part, and I died on the level so many times. But then on my final try with this, I beat the level and this first phase of the boss on my first try. And I got so mad. I'm like, are you kidding me?
When you game over, you have to start the whole level over again, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Game
then
over, yeah.
But then after a while, the level didn't end up being too bad. It was just like 10 minutes of like, okay, got to do this again. And when I figure out like the pattern, like what exactly does this guy do, and be like, okay, if I'm just careful and I save an E-tank, then I can handle it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be so bad if this game just had a proper energy tank system like Mega Man 2 onwards. Like, if you were allowed to carry 4 going into this, I wouldn't even have a big deal with this guy, but...
Also, this is the part in the game when I realized that not being able to pause and select your weapon really gets annoying.
Because you can't do that in Mighty Number 9. You have to either set them beforehand so that they're keyed to, like, circle, triangle, and R1 or whatever, or, like, you have to cycle L1, R1 right then and there, because there's no way to just pause and select what you want to use in the pause, which has been a thing since Mega Man 1.
Honestly, I
But
prefer
this
it.
isn't
Every
Mega
time,
Man.
even in the X games, I will always pause to switch my weapons. I don't like using L and R because
Yeah.
I don't like having to fiddle with that, you know? I don't mind stopping myself.
Good job, Clement. Good job, sis. For some reason, about to say good job, Clement. We've been talking so much Canada. I got you two confused, mixed up.
Well, he's not
job,
dead
Stefan.
yet. This is phase 2.
Oh,
It's a pretty
Jesus.
Look at that
flower.
frame rate.
Oh my god.
It's so pretty.
Queen Sectonia? What?
Why is his body moving at like
Like,
2
I'm pretty sure this
frames?
whole level takes place in null space, because look at all the square blocks. Look at all the purple square blocks. Like, this is basically just a corrupted Phantom Ruby.
It's moving
Are you
so
playing
weirdly, like it's like
freaking
the
Sonic Forces music?
He's back.
Mine.
Look at
What
that
am I
face.
listening to?
Infinite's theme.
Oh, okay.
You know that song I
It's-
played for
it's-
20 seconds in the game?
Yeah, they played for 20 seconds in the fucking game.
I've always turned it off before I've even heard this much.
Look at all these glorious deaths.
This playthrough is truly the tallest of mountains.
and the darkest of waves.
This is indeed what it takes to be infinite.
Oh my god.
It's still going. There you go. So then I figured, and then after like 3 hours of trying, I'm finally like, okay, now I know how to beat him. It's you shoot fire. You shoot explosions at him. That's how you win.
I can't believe you have this many pizzas to waste on this video game. All right.
Dude, this is making me fucking hungry, man. I gotta go get
I
some
want
pizza
pizza
after I'm
after
done with
this.
Think of all, I was about to say think of all the pizzas you could have bought like with this game, but it's like, oh yeah, you can only buy one pizza.
yeah.
with this game.
I could have bought one.
One pizza's a better
Caesars.
waste of money. Better use of money.
Yeah.
It's
It is
better than
far
nothing.
better.
Ah, haha.
Although in this instance, I think nothing would be better in this game.
Probably.
It's about as equal to something.
So is this the final boss?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know again, Stefan obviously spent a long time on this, but it just looks like if you know to go in and use this weapon, this boss looks like a joke.
But that's because I've done this so many times that I'm like, okay, I know exactly what his patterns is. I know exactly what to do in order to beat him.
This boss fight has a lot of bullshit though. Like, you see how before this flower ended up in the middle and started raining down stuff, it just sort of like spawned in the middle? That's contact damage if you're standing in the middle and you're not expecting it. Like, you'll just be
And
standing
all-
there and then something hits you and like, what the hell was that? And then stuff
And
Yeah,
there's
like
also
if you were at the right there, then you would take contact damage.
And there's this part. You have to be exactly precise or else you're going to get hit with these lasers.
Yeah, and it does a lot of damage that, again, if I had 4 XL tanks to use, it'd be fine, but because this thing does so much damage, I don't want to get hit by it at all, and it's like, if I take too many hits from it, I gotta redo the first phase, or the whole level, all, God forbid, you know?
Oh, and did I also mention that after you beat him, he has a last-minute attack that could kill you, even if you killed him,
Yeah.
you could die.
Watch out, he's up to something.
That's literally what it is. Like, look at my health.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, your health.
Jeez.
I'm panicking, but I got an ice hit.
I'm getting
in,
anxiety
so
just
that
looking
helps.
at that.
I swear to God.
Is
if
he
you
weak
die-
to any
if you-
specific attack, or
I assume just the explosion, because that destroys the most amount of health
Yeah,
from him.
I usually use the explosion, or if I'm close enough, I use brandish, but...
Yeah, like, look at this. You killed him, but nope, he still attacks you.
Get away from the
and-
middle!
Yep.
Because the middle
If you're
would
in the
have killed
middle,
you.
you're dead.
oh, because it has to do a specific animation in the middle for dying, but it can still hurt you
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
that.
It's so dumb.
You got a Chaos Emerald.
We did it! It's over.
Yeah,
Thank God.
We
it's
saved the girl
finally
robot.
over.
We saved the girl robot. She's in an egg.
Sure. Mission clear.
What are you talking about? That only took you 18 minutes. All right, I think you're whining, Stefan.
Yeah, because I game overed so many times.
I
And
don't
there,
feel so
That's
good.
over. Yeah, she doesn't feel so good.
I would love it if
Is she a squid? Or is she a kid?
You did it, Trinity. We did it.
She looks like she has like the most reminds me of bunny ears.
Excellent. You have surpassed even my greatest expectations.
nobody said that
My
about
expectations were really low!
area are no longer under Trinity's control. They are destabilizing.
She means that the whole place
Dun 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 dun. I should have added another Hank Hill stream.
What is this voice acting?
I love how that one just said audio only.
Sound only because we don't have the budget to draw these pictures. This is so fucking.
This is the end.
This is the ending, yeah.
That's
One thing
the-
that I am glad about this whole thing, though, is it does put into perspective how expensive game development is. Where $3.8 million is actually not a lot for the kind of games that we expect. But even still, it is a lot of money. So you would...
Yeah, but how much of that money just went to coke and whores for Inafune?
Like, I mean, probably at least a good $1.5 million.
I mean, like, games like Shovel Knight can get less money from Kickstarter and somehow do even better. So,
That's true. I think there's also less bloat, though, is the thing, because...
Yeah.
Nope, not yet. Nope, don't do that yet.
Post-credit scene. It's a Marvel movie.
We've come to talk to you about the Mega Man initiative.
Except there's no Mighty Number 9, like, cinematic universe.
I mean, he wanted to. No, this isn't the Marvel Cinematic. This is like the Dark Universe.
Dark.
Not true, because Beck was put in another game. The Dark Universe will never see anything from that ever again.
But I want... but... That would be so great, though, if we got another Dark Universe movie. It would be hilarious.
I wanted them to do their Invisible Man movie or their Bride of Frankenstein movie.
Just go see Hollow Man.
Hell yeah.
True.
Don't call me that. My name is William White. I'll show
Yes,
Like, if they ever
goddamn.
did a sequel, he was going to end up being the bad guy. Like,
Oh,
I don't
for
know.
sure.
Yeah. Like, I mean, granted, we're never gonna see a sequel to this game. So, it's kind of a moot point thinking about it, but he was a bad guy.
Look, it says curse in bold. That means it's important, right?
What a
Dun, dun,
terrible
That means it's
game to
canonically
have
a curse.
Oh no!
Why would Capcom do this?
Who killed?
Mighty Number 9.
Stefan, you've redeemed yourself. I'm proud of you, boy. Good job.
I can't believe Beck is fucking dead.
So game's just a corpse.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on this game? I only
Don't
I
play
only
this
played a
game.
handful of the levels, and I wasted my time. Don't waste your time. Don't, please.
I
don't.
already did a Let's Play for it, so I have nothing to say.
I had to sit through this commentary.
I've been playing Splatoon literally the entire time. So
You always do that, Ted. Go back and watch any Brain Scratch. There'll be a part where Ted's like, "Oh, I'm playing Tetris on my DS, so I'm playing this." You don't deserve any money you get from Brain Scratch, Ted. Your heart isn't in it. Just like Inafune, your heart isn't in the fucking game.
okay, first off, I'm offended that you would talk badly about Inafune and bring him down to my level, alright? that's just cruel, okay?
You're
Second
right,
off,
because Inafune actually has a job.
that's true.
Remind him, he doesn't have a job anymore.
I guess they're like, what does he do now?
He's hiding. He can't reveal himself to the public.
He's
ever
hiding with the
again.
3DS copies of Mighty Number 9 that he never shipped out.
Maybe he's selling old bootleg Genesis
Ju-
games.
Just like Stephen Frost when Rise of Lyric came out, he disappeared forever.
Oh,
Oh.
Poor
I
guy.
can't believe he's dead.
That wasn't his fault. Mostly.
What a downer ending.
Yeah, thanks, Ted.
Just like Mighty Number 9.
I'm gonna go get some pizza.
Okay, bye.